Hey guys, what's up and welcome to my channel. So today we are going to be talking about mental health. Today is day 10 of YOUTOBER and it's also World Mental Health Day 2018. I figured why not talk about this because I feel like it's something that we tend to kind of shrug off. We always are really focused on our physical health, whether or not we look perfect or whether or not we need to lose weight or gain weight. And that is all nice and important, but also so is the internal mental stuff. It's really important to focus on self-love and self-care. Whether or not you have a self-care routine right now, it is interesting and very important to kind of dig into a self-care routine and kind of draw it into your regular everyday life. For me, for self-care, when I'm really needing some sort of time just for myself and trying to feel better and kind of to tune in to my body, I will do yoga, which yoga always kind of makes me focus. Meditation is really important, but meditation is kind of hard for me. So I really enjoy meditations that are led, like Yoga Nidra. I find that really amazing. Also, I love just sitting and closing my eyes and just taking a moment to just be with myself. That can be really hard, and I find sitting in an easy seated position sometimes is really uncomfortable for me, and so I tend to either sit in a chair or I might sit on my knees with like a bolster or something underneath me. But it's really valuable to find this time to meditate and to just be with yourself. Another thing that I really enjoy doing is I light candles. I love candles, and I've been really looking for good soy candles recently that, one, are good to breathe in, two, they smell amazing, and also I love soy candles. I find them very calming to me. I use my essential oils with this baby, and it is so nice. It lights up and I absolutely adore it. There are tons of different ones that you can use for your essential oils, but that one is so beautiful. It fits my aesthetic. And along those lines, I also have some healing stones. I've recently gotten into that and I really enjoy holding them. I feel like I get a lot of really good energy from stones, whether or not that's just going in a store that has a ton of stones, or whether that's holding them and just feeling the texture of them. And I think when you feel the texture of something and you really focus on something other than the outside world, it makes you tune in to that moment. You have to be in the moment and you have to be aware of what's going on, and it just makes you a little bit more mindful. I love to read. I used to hate reading, but I actually really enjoy reading now. I really got into personal development books quite some time ago, and they really have helped me out through a lot of hard times, and so I find personal development to be extremely valuable because it really makes you focus on everything, whether or not it's a book that's giving you a reality check or whether it's a book that's making you really think. Sometimes they'll ask rhetorical questions and you're like, okay, well let me start thinking about these things and maybe I'll adapt them into my life or whatnot. Another thing that I find very beneficial is journaling. So I have a journal right here. It's called 52 Lists of Happiness, and that journal is supposed to last you a year. But like, for me, I just journal and journal, especially if it's giving me a prompt. It's easier for me to write, and that book gives you prompts, and so I tend to really get into that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, let me just answer all these questions because maybe I'm bored or maybe I need something to occupy my mind, maybe I'm having a hard time, and that book brings in some gratitude and it brings in some positivity and just really brings me back to just pure natural being. Like, it just makes me be comfortable with whatever state I'm in at the time. I find journaling to be really beneficial, especially if you don't feel like you can talk to somebody. It's really good to be able to get out your words, and it's an outlet. It's a way to, whether or not you don't want to talk to someone about whatever your issues are, it's a way to talk to yourself. So if you just cannot understand what's going on in your head, write it out, because once you write it out, you can kind of read it yourself and be like, oh, okay, this is what I'm thinking, maybe this is why I'm thinking this, let me try to check in and see how to kind of situate this issue, or just maybe it's a way to get you to think. For mental health, I tend to take baths quite a bit, especially bubble baths or a bath that has some sort of calming essence to it. I find lavender to be really nice, or if I'm having a hard time, I'll just put some lavender, or one of my essential oils. I have Breathe and I have Balance, and I love both of those. They're so nice. I use them every time I'm getting a little anxious or I'm having a hard time. I'll put them in my hands and I'll sniff it, and it really just kind of calms you down almost instantaneously. Yeah, the only other one I would say would be for mental health. Like, this sounds silly, but eat food, like make sure that you eat, and make sure that you're drinking water or something continuously so that you don't get dehydrated, because when you're having mental health or angst issues, maybe it's depression, or maybe you're just really overwhelmed, if you're not eating right, you're not going to feel right. If you're not drinking right, you're not going to feel good at all. Like, you really need your nutrients to be nourishing for your body. And when we get in these states where we're struggling and we have these mental kind of bumps in the road, we tend to forget to eat, or we overeat, or we don't drink water at all, or we have an excessive amount of caffeine to kind of keep us going. But in actuality, we really just need to be very holistic with your food and really just listen to the body, because the body knows what it needs. It might crave things, but sometimes that's not what you need. So yeah, those are all my tips for mental health. I have struggled with mental health for quite some time. It comes and goes, and I think everyone in this world may struggle with mental health at some point in their life, whether that is for a few days, months, years. Everybody's different, and we all deserve that chance to just be with ourselves, to kind of determine what is going on in your life, and to try to allow that space for you and for others to be able to feel these emotions and feel these things that might be happening in your life, because it is okay to have mental health pickups. Like, these things happen, and sometimes people don't want to talk about it, or sometimes people excessively talk about it, and whether or not people act like they're having a wonderful life, sometimes they're not, and we need to allow for that space for people to find some self-love and find some self-care. Personal development benefits everyone, whether it seems a little kooky to some people, or maybe it seems like someone's just telling you all these things that you need to do or you should do. But you don't always have to take things word by word. Personal development is a way of having a guidebook. Maybe you're into like the yamas and niyamas that are dealing with yoga, the Yoga Sutras. Maybe you're really into the more in-depth portion of yoga, and that kind of can take the physical side of yoga and turn it into a more mental side. And it can really benefit you in a way, because you're really kind of tuning in and just finding some awareness within yourself. And so reading a book, journaling, reading a Bible if you're religious, just reading something can just really guide you along your mental health journey. And everyone's is different, and there's nothing wrong with where you are now, but it is really important, and it's encouraging when you are reading something and it helps you, even if it's just the slightest bit. It is so important. So I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. I would love to talk about mental health a little bit more on my channel. If you guys want to see more videos like this, just let me know. I just did a video for books and journals and things that I find very beneficial, as in personal development wise, or just things that really get you thinking, finding a little bit more mindfulness and awareness within yourself. So go ahead and check out the video that I posted right before this, And I hope that you get something from that video as well, because today is all about mental health, and I think it's really important, and I hope that you do too, and I hope that you take some of my advice and take it along with you with the rest of your day, your week, or your life. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!